Oh, absolutely, sir. I'm just going to repeat what you said all week. You were we're going to be goal dangerous. How were you able to be goal dangerous?
Well, it took us, it took us a little bit. I mean, some of the I thought we started off the game fairly well, but we got into the prime assist zone, and then we didn't have any joy or end product, or final pass was missing. You know, we got Jordan down the left a few times, Alex on the right. So, you know, it was a work in progress is what I would say. You know, I think the coaching staff felt that once the first goal came, you know, they would have to press, and that would open themselves up for counters. And you saw that with some of the goals we scored in the second half. There were some good transition goals, good transition moments. You know, the ball that Christian plays over to Kellen is probably textbook for us. That's how we want to play. And, you know, Christian getting to that spot and Kellen filling the lane at the back post. I mean, that was a good goal. But credit to Motagua. I mean, they made it difficult for us for the first half of the game and then into the second half. But that goal, you know, right after halftime kind of took some of the wind out of their sails.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, not to put a damper on things, but these games are all being played sort of in an atmosphere that is suboptimal. It might be a nice way of putting it. But what do you have any thoughts on what's kind of going on in the world right now with Ukraine and whatnot?
Yeah, I spoke to our players about that, you know, after the game and individually before the game. I mean, look, we stand in solidarity with, you know, the people in Ukraine. I think it's important. I don't think anybody wants a war. I don't want a war. I'm sure there's a lot of Russian people that don't want war either. And so it just kind of, you know, Jeremiah, when I watch the news and I see some of the scenes on TV, I mean, it should all give us just a little bit of pause. There are bigger things in the world than our sport. The message I gave to our players was a little bit about, you know, just we're fortunate to live in a country that, you know, provides us freedoms. You know, we're able to play in front of good fans. I mean, what about some of the Ukrainian soccer players? Where are they going to play next? I mean, what's going to happen there? You know, Albert, I asked Albert specifically, his family lives literally like 50 miles from the Ukrainian border. Now, is he concerned? Yes. I mean, is it going to spread that far? Who knows? But there are certain human elements that bring this situation that's going on right now certainly bigger than our sport. And so with that, you know, again, I just ask the players to reflect a little bit and just make sure that they never take for granted the jobs that they have and, you know, the place that they live.
Stephen, Mike's coming around to you.
Coach, you guys had it put away about 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the second half. How big of a boost is that for Sunday getting to rest guys?
Yeah, well, you guys, I'm sure you guys can figure it out, Stephen. We were able to pull guys off and rest them for Sunday. So that was a benefit of scoring a couple of early goals in the second half for sure. So we're going to bring them all in for a regen / training session tomorrow and kind of assess everybody and then, you know, figure out a lineup for Sunday.
Other questions in here? Sure.
Muy buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Felicitaciones por el triunfo y desearle el mayor de los éxitos en este nuevo año que recién se inicia. ¿Cree usted que los refuerzos que han llegado le alcanzará para mejorar la campaña del año pasado? Y segundo, ¿qué errores tendría que corregir para superar la campaña del año anterior?
So congrats on the win today and best of success for the coming season. The first question is about reinforcements. Do you believe that the reinforcements that the club has been able to bring is going to help improve last year's performance? And the second question is if you believe that what are the specific things that the team has to fix in order to improve the performance from last year season or last season?
Well, last season towards the end of the year, we were not playing at our best. I think we started the year off very well with 13 games unbeaten. And it's always better, in my opinion, to end the year with your team playing well. So that's the lesson that we learned. I think as far as new players are concerned, you know, look, Jordan Morris is like a new player because he didn't play a lot last year. Nico Ladero is like a new player this year. Obviously, you guys understand Albert Rusnak is a big player and a big signing for the club. So I think we've improved the roster. One from outside of the club, but two internally from the club.
Hacia el final de la temporada pasada fue un momento en el cual no estábamos jugando bien, no estábamos jugando de la forma como yo hubiera querido. Empezamos bien la temporada, pero no la terminamos bien. Y dentro de la forma como a mí me gustaría ver es prefiero tener momentum al final de la temporada más que al principio. En este año tenemos refuerzos, pues y eso es algo que tenemos que corregir, cómo cambiar el momentum de la temporada. En términos de refuerzos nuevos, este año tenemos Jordan regresando al equipo en buenas condiciones, que cuenta como un jugador nuevo para esta temporada. De la misma manera, Nico también cuenta como un jugador nuevo. Y ahí tenemos jugadores netamente nuevos que han venido al equipo como Rusnak, que creemos que con la combinación de todo ese talento que tenemos, vamos a poder tener una mejor temporada que la del año pasado.
Go over to Mickey Turner next, and then we'll go to Maz.
And Coach, it looked like when Jordan scored, he had a expression of relief on his face. Obviously, coming back from the ACL injury, the second one. Can you just talk about what he's been through and what that goal could mean for him as he starts the season?
Well, I would probably expand on that, Mickey. What I would say is that just Jordan being back on the field, you could see some of the joy that he had. Obviously, he's a goal scorer. Obviously, he loves scoring. But Jordan's also an unselfish kid. I'm not so sure that goal is kind of the, moment that he thinks about. He was just so happy even last year when he started training in with us, and then towards the end of the year, playing the last couple of games, or being involved in the last couple of games. I think that was important for him. I think, we could take tonight's game and, maybe it's a little bit of a monkey off his back. But I would probably, debate with you that it's just his presence on the field is what gives him joy. He had, that start for the national team. I mean, that was a big moment. That was a big deal for him. So just playing is what I would probably say is important.
Maz, then Ari.
Brian, I know we're talking a lot, so many storylines. You 5-0, but what can you say about the 0 that is your defense? What did you get out of your back line, and then also your midfielder coming back and able to keep them off the scoreboard?
Well, again, I'll give a little bit of credit to Motagua. That's a tricky team. That they have a lot of good athletes, set pieces, they're dangerous. They put us under pressure, obviously down there. But even up here, some nervy moments, half moments in the first half. So credit to them. But I mean, it's a change when you have one less center back on the field from last year. So you're playing with 4 instead of 5. And, Yaimar and Javi stepped up. They did a great job. I thought Nuhu, we all saw Nuhu at AFCON. And, doesn't look like he missed a beat. So, the defensive line was good. There were questions from people around the league, maybe even internally, that maybe Alex couldn't play in a back line of 4. But I thought Alex had a good job, did a good job tonight. And then, again, I'll mention, Christian's versatility, being able to bring JP off the bench, Obed Vargas doing a good job of screening that back 4. It's a team game. So I think everybody pitched in tonight for the shutout.
Ari.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned it right at the end there, but Obed Vargas seemed like he acquitted himself well in both games in this series. he seemed like he provided a lot of energy tonight. He was flying around, getting the crowd pumped up. I mean, what's just your overall assessment of what you saw out of him over these two games?
Ari, I was surprised that the kid basically his third start of his entire career. I mean, I'll talk to him about that. I'll ask him how he's feeling, why he did it, you know, what the intentions were. But what I saw and what we felt as coaches on the sideline was a little source of pride. You know, here's a kid from Alaska that Wade Weber, credit to Wade, told us all about, was raving about how good Obed was. Wade, you are correct. Wade was correct. The kid's got something. So we'll keep working with him to get him better.
Go over to Jeremiah and then over to Zoom and Laura. Jeremiah, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know if it officially went down as the coldest game in Sounders home game in Sounders history, but it was one of the coldest games. Did it feel cold out there? Do you think that that at all played into your favor?
No. Let's remove the national team narrative and all that. I mean, we're from the city of Seattle, the state of Washington. We're pretty tough kids. Jeremiah, you're a tough kid. You're wearing like boots and your gear is good. You got your hat on. You're a tough kid.
It's a hard one to follow. Laura, I will let you attempt it. All yours on Zoom.
Thank you. We'll give the floor to Francisco Vela. Francisco, go ahead.
Gracias. Coach, congrats for the game tonight. What do you think of your next opponent, the Club León? How do you expect the series? Is a rematch of League's Cup final? Thank you.
So León is a very, very good team. You know, I thought in that final in León or in Las Vegas against León, I thought we played well. I mean, we were within inches of scoring the second goal, and maybe that changes the outcome of the game. You know, they have very talented players. I actually really enjoyed scouting that team. I think their coach is a very good coach. But again, tonight after the game, as we were discussing our performance, I actually mentioned that there might be a little bit of, you know, a little bit of revenge. We can use this as, hey, look, last year we did not, you know, complete the objective, which was to win League's Cup and beat León. And so now can we use a little bit of that as motivation? You know, maybe sometimes that's maybe just coaches talking. I think the group in there fully understands the importance of Champions League, and they certainly respect and understand León's quality. So we will, you know, prepare for them like we always do. And, you know, our club always wants to win every game, every competition we enter. So obviously it will be a tough challenge.
That will be all for the questions online.
Thank you, Laura. Any other final questions here in the room? We'll take one more. That's fine. Go for it.
Ok, gracias.
Thank you, Bob.
Para nuestros seguidores de Perú, hay mucha preocupación por la situación de Raúl Ruiz Díaz. ¿Cuál es el informe médico respecto a él? Si las lesiones que ha tenido el año pasado y en sus últimos partidos son complicadas o no representan mayor peligro.
So for our Peruvian followers, there's a lot of concern about Raúl's health in the last games on the past season, and also today there have been many injuries. What is kind of like the medical situation that he's going through right now?
Well, we will assess Raúl. He had some hamstring tightness. And as a precaution, we took him out of the game. But it was not like the injuries that he suffered last year. but, you know, it's early and I don't want to risk losing Raul for an extended period of time. So we made the decision to be very cautious.
Lo que sintió Raúl fue un estiramiento en el hamstring y como precaución lo sacamos del partido. No es nada semejante con las lesiones que ha tenido, que tuvo la temporada anterior y por lo tanto no queríamos arriesgar futuro. Por eso por precaución lo sacamos para el segundo tiempo, pero no es nada semejante a por lo que pasó el año anterior.